the next minutes, we have the very responsible tasks to discuss non-financial reporting. For many specialists, still, non-financial and reporting are two completely opposite words. Still, for many, it looks like the non-financial sustainability report is to produce another fancy brochure drafted by the PR experts. Believe me, it's not. I'm Marina Stefanova and you're watching CSR AdviceBox. This is the show that gets you equipped for the work and management of the sustainability process in your everyday job. Today, I choose to talk about non-financial reporting. In many countries of the world, it is still not important. Even in some enlightened societies, the businessman should give to the society and contribute to the community or solve problems without asking the result. Still, this is not the case of European Union countries, Denmark, Brazil, South Africa, which already have legal obligations to comply and report on annual basis, including non-financial performance indicators. Exactly 10 years ago, nobody from the business community knew what non-financial reporting is. Today, on the contrary, Forbes magazine defines it as the very important tool to reinforce reputation, and KPMG refers to the information coming from the non-financial factors as one which is really important and matters to the stakeholder to define the risks and opportunities of a company development. Through their activities and relationships, all companies have positive and negative contributions to the sustainable development. In this sense, non-financial reporting means the practice of a company to report publicly its impact on economical, environmental, and social performance, positive or negative, to all interested parties. In this means that we can show annual progress. Both financial and non-financial information provides shareholders, stockholders, and all relevant stakeholders with a comprehensive and 360 degrees view of the company philosophy, performance, and strategy for development. In European Union, starting from January 2017, more than 6,000 public listed large entities, including bank corporations, insurance companies, other institutions of public interest, are expected to report annually the meaningful and comprehensive information referring their risks, their performance, and their outcomes on an annual basis on very important 5 topics: environmental matters, human rights, employee engagement and health and safety, diversity of board of directors, and anti-bribery and anti-corruption policies. Most of the countries have already implemented the European Directive for Non-Financial and Diversity Information into their local legislations. Still, European Union also produced non-binding guidelines on how to report and what information should be reported. I believe you can also use the well-established, internationally recognized reporting frameworks coming from the Global Compact, the Global Reporting Initiative, ISO 26000, Carbon Disclosure Project, or OECD guidelines for multinational enterprises. It's your choice. One practical question: how does the perfect sustainability report look like? It is short. You cannot tell everything that you missed during the year in one book. I've seen perfect multinational sustainability reports of great companies no longer than 50 pages. Second, it tackles with the most relevant issues for your company. Spending hundreds of pages speaking of non-material issues and showing 50 happy faces from your company doesn't answer really to the needs of information and delivery to all your stakeholders. It is clear. You should know that not everybody who is going to read your report is coming from your industry. This means that the text should be understandable both for investors and people representing the local community. It is comparable. The readers should be really able to understand whether you are progressing or regressing. This means that you should give also data for your previous performance years or from your peers in the industry or the best cases. It's your choice. And please, last but not least, do not tell a fairy tale. We all know that it is not supposed to be every year progressing in its best. Honesty always builds trust. Last, really important thing, deliver it on time. No matter how relevant, accurate, precise, and deep is the information you want to communicate, if it's not delivered on time, you usually brings more burden than a good news to the general audience. The preparation of a sustainability report is a business process. This means that you really need some prerequisites in order to succeed it. At first place, a strong management commitment. If your CEO is not really convinced what is the importance and the relevance of sustainability reporting, he or she will do everything to sabotage your efforts, to discuss and probably deny to answer your creative ideas and pilot activities. An internal working group. You cannot do it alone, and you should not. This is a collective effort of the company, and all people, including the CEO level and all divisions, should be involved from the very beginning of reporting process, starting from the collecting database through analysis, then auditing. And you should know that the best way is to involve them from the very, very beginning. Stakeholder involvement. You cannot deliver a meaningful message to all the other general external public if you really don't know what they are looking for. And this you cannot know for sure. So what you can do is first start engaging with them, involve them in a process where you can ask directly, whether on a focus group, you may choose to make it as a round table, interview on the phone, or some kind of inquiry sent on the mails. It is your choice. What I would recommend is to make it in the beginning of the report and make it regularly, at least once per year. A certain amount of money. Please do not expect that this is going to be a free of charge service. Several years ago, in 2011, DG Internal Market and Services made a survey, and they showed some data which is really going to be relevant in your argumentation. What they found out is that the cost for a non-financial report goes and depends on the size of the companies, but it is usually for the larger companies between 150 up to 600,000 euro per company per year. And for the smaller company, of course, it is lower, between 8 and 25,000 euro. Expressed as a cost per employee, looking through another angle, you may see that for the larger companies it is really cheap effort. It is something between 3 and 13 euro per employee. Whether for the smaller companies it goes between 60 and 200 euro per person. Quite expensive effort and really investment that you should working deep inside. It always depends on the existence of an internal system management in your company. If there is no such collective data process implemented, then you should spend at least 2 years for the preparatory phase. If you are lucky and you already have one implemented, then please again do not forget that it is really taking a little bit longer time for the pilot session, at least 1 year. And then, if you have everything ready, like green light from your boss, collaboration willingness from your colleagues and the other divisions involved, please feel free to start. The first phase takes usually the collecting of the database. It would be great if you have data not only for this but some previous periods. Then what is coming is analysis and drafting of the first text. It usually comes between 2 and 4 months to get it all. Then what we have is data proven review from all your colleagues that were involved in the data collection process. It takes around 10 days. Finally, what you have is giving a little bit more time for the probably third-party review or external stakeholder group that you want to read and give feedback to your report. It usually takes a month. I wouldn't give less time. What is expecting us later is coming with the draft and design of the report. Obviously, it cannot be done for less than 45 days. Let's summarize. The report from the beginning of the draft till the end comes up in between 6 and maybe 9 months. And finally, if you represent a large company, I strongly recommend that you organize a launching event. It maybe sounds very scaring for you at first because you're going to be opposed to press, to stakeholders, to external audiences, but still all the efforts involved, if you are honest and you make it properly during the way, then please feel free to celebrate and to share your results and progress with all interested parties. Finally, they will feel rewarded and they will be willing to start the journey again next year. Does it seem that you have a choice to report or not report? For the companies working and operating in European Union, I don't think so. They have to report and gather all the information till the end of 2017. Of course, there is an exclusion of this practice, and this refers to the small and medium enterprises. They are expected not to deliver such a report by law, but if they are part of the global supply chain, sooner or later, not later than 3-5 years, if they want to persist doing so, they have to report their social, environmental, and governance information at least to their suppliers. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching CSR AdviceBox series and being with me, Marina Stefanova. If you really find it informative, please go and check our YouTube channel for the other series of CSR AdviceBox. If you really like it, subscribe to this channel. If you want to be the first one who knows more about the series, go to our website and pre-buy the whole package. Finally, I look forward to meeting you next time when we are going to discuss the issue and process of stakeholder identification. Looking forward.